nature and the shape of that which it was an object that you said it was a gold. Just explain it. Just take this court through.
Teeth is white normally, so whatever looks different from the other teeth, I was looking for that.
You're saying if the teeth were white,
Okay,
and anything that was not white, we're looking for that.
which is God. Remember, the focus is on the God.
Yes.
Yes. Anything that I see could be gold. Yes.
That which you found, which was not white, which according to you was gold. Can you please explain it to the court? The nature, the shape, how was it shaped?
It looks like a full teeth. Even though it was not that clear at first, after doing my analysis, I saw it looks fully on the teeth.
What made you to say that was gold? If ever that was the situation, if ever what you saw was gold, why do you say that was gold?
Because I saw it as gold.
How does it look like?
It looks goldish.
That's not an intelligent answer. How does gold look like? Explain it. You said you know gold. How does it look like? Don't say it looks goldish. I don't know what is goldish. Explain to me. Thank you. Point at the gold.
No, I don't want to point at the gold for per se. I just want to point at something that looks like a gold.
That looks
So
like gold.
for us to understand at least what exactly gold looks like.
So that was the cross-examination of Warrant Officer Mabaso as he was being questioned, and being pushed further with regards to the issue of the gold tooth, and does he even know what it looks like? Because the challenges that are there here is that Warrant Officer Mabaso does not have the expertise to identify and tell that this is a gold tooth. So that task is left for forensic analysts. Those are the ones who can tell that that is a gold tooth in itself and that is not gold tooth. So here, as Advocate Mnisi was pushing Warrant Officer Mabaso to the edge in trying to show the court, that this is gold, that is yellow, he was trying to expose him that this guy does not know what gold looks like. Because the thing that happens is that when somebody says he had a gold tooth, we can quickly accept that and just be like, okay, it was gold tooth, it's gold tooth, that's what gold looks like. He had gold tooth, the Warrant Officer Mabaso told us that. But the challenge that is there now is that in further cross-examining this guy, you can see that he might have made a mistake because there's something called the yellow teeth. There are people who have yellow teeth, due to not brushing their teeth. It causes certain teeth, especially the front teeth, to become yellow. And what makes it even more interesting is that it's actually very possible to have one tooth that is yellow, whilst the other teeth are white. So if somebody like that gets taken a picture, with their mouth open, somebody like Warrant Officer Mabaso can quickly conclude, and say he had a gold tooth, because what he is simply looking for is something that leans towards a yellow color. So Advocate Mnisi, is trying to show that a photo can distort color, it can shine the camera angle, etc. So he's highlighting that what looks like gold in a picture might not actually be gold. It could be yellowed enamel, lighting reflection, or different material entirely. And not only that, there's actually an even bigger one that Advocate Mnisi, I think, is trying to go towards. Advocate Mnisi is trying to show the court that Warrant Officer Mabaso might be colorblind. Obviously, he can't just go all out, and say this guy is colorblind. Obviously, himself is going to dispute that, but the only way to prove that is to show it to the court. And that is exactly why he is saying, show me what gold looks like, describe it, or whatever that he is trying to say. He's trying to show that maybe this guy is colorblind and does not know what gold really looks like. So, having exposed the witness as someone who might not know what gold looks like, Mnisi is now pushing, for expert verification. So he would have made, the officer's color perception to be unreliable. This obviously strengthens the argument, that identifying gold from a photograph, it's not straightforward, even for someone who says I'm not colorblind, it's not something straightforward. And there is a need for this gold tooth to be confirmed by an expert. The most disastrous part that occurred for the witness was when he said anything that I could see could be gold. So this guy was simply trying to find a distinction, like between two colors. If you could distinguish between them, then the other color might be gold, pay that statement in quotes, because he knows that teeth are white, and white is something easy to identify. So he was simply looking at that, and any other color, that might not be white could have been gold to him. And fortunately or unfortunately for him, he did find that color that was not white. And then he concluded that, damn, this is gold right here. So this confirms, that his identification, the witness, it was not based on forensic analysis, but on a simple, subjective visual contrast. So having listened to this argument, does it make sense for the defense, to dwell on this point and keep on questioning it over and over? It kind of makes sense because it attacks the foundation of the identification. It amplifies doubt without needing counter evidence, because the defense does not have to prove that the tooth in the photo is not gold. It's not up to them. They just need to make the judge to question whether the officer can be trusted to identify gold from a photo. So that's the task that is just there for the defense. It's just to expose the witness. So having listened to both sides of the argument, I feel like the defense scored a point in undermining the witness. But obviously, it doesn't mean that they won outright. But they did score a point because the officer did admit to subjectivity. And the impact, is that it's now an issue of perception. And did the officer really identify the gold tooth in that photo? It's something to be questioned again. I'll catch you guys on the next one.